So I'll now go through some of the finer details of this game, which I find pretty interesting actually. I wouldn't find it a boring game like tic-tac-toe or something like that. There's actually quite a bit of strategy involved. So there's Dobutsu Shogi, also known as Let's Catch the Lion, because your king is a lion and the goal is to capture this piece, so it's also called Let's Catch the Lion. It's played on a 3x4 board, and you sit on an edge with three squares. So black sits here and white would sit here, for example, and the pieces start out with the king in the middle of the front row. Your elephant goes to the left of the king, the giraffe goes to the right, and the chick goes on top of the king, and similarly with the other side as well. The chick moves and captures one space forward. It does not capture diagonally like in Western chess. So, for example, on the very first move you can make a capture, and actually this is the best move for black. And also, if your chick reaches the very last row, it promotes, and promotion is mandatory, so you have to promote a chick if you move your chick to the back row. The only exception is if you drop the chick to the back. We'll talk about dropping later on. The elephant moves diagonally one space. It does not move long range, so you cannot move two spaces like that. So one space diagonally, similar to checkers, but there's no jumping. You capture the same way that you move. And the giraffe moves one space in the four orthogonal directions, but it does not move long range like that. I would be interested in seeing the theoretical aspects of having long range pieces on a small board like this. It would be interesting to see how it would affect the theory of the game, but that's for later on. Maybe I can write a program for that. There's the lion, which is basically the king. There's an exception to the rule for Dobutsu Shogi. If your king reaches the promotion zone and it's not attacked by any other of your opponent's pieces, you also win. So that's something you have to guard for. This is similar to Shogi actually, because there's a rule that if both kings reach their promotion zones in traditional Shogi, and that they're very hard to capture once they reach their promotion zones. There's a special rule that kicks in where you count the number of pieces you have, and I think the bishops and the rooks are worth more when you do that. I'll have to cover that in another video. And there's the drop rule, just like any other variant of Shogi. So once you capture a piece, you hold it in hand. So for example, we can set up the original position. So black captures this pawn. He holds it in reserve for later use. And during your turn, instead of making a move on the board, you can drop one of the pieces you have in reserve. So now it's white's turn. Now black can drop a piece onto the board anywhere. So he can drop his chick over here. I'm not sure if this is the best move, since I haven't studied much beyond the first two moves. And I usually lose against my own program, actually. So white, you don't have to drop though. You can, white could, for example, move his king here, and so forth. The exception to that promotion rule that I showed earlier is that if you drop a chick to the far end of the board, it does not promote, so you're basically stuck there. But, and this is interesting, there are theoretically positions where this is the right thing to do, even though it seems counterintuitive. The main reason being that it's a passing move, so if you're in one of those positions where it's a disadvantage to move, you might have to do that to force your opponent to make an initiative. So it's very theoretical. Maybe I can find that position in that the paper I was reading. Thanks for watching.